Hi everybody. So I haven't made a video in a while. We haven't been traveling. Elizabeth and I have been working on, how am I going to hold this? Elizabeth and I have been working on Auravana and doing a lot of work, so just focus on that really. Elizabeth recently released a video on the Krau Indigenous University, and it's kind of interesting. It's on her channel. Spent a lot of time on it. She used AutoCAD, Lumion, and SketchUp to create it. The next step is creating the budget and the full architectural engineering plan for that habitat. It's an indigenous habitat, basically an indigenous university habitat, and we hope that they essentially adopt the standards as an educational curriculum. That's another thing we're working on. We're turning the Auravana standards into an educational curriculum, and we'll shortly be releasing the next version of both the website and all of the standards, except for the system overview, including the new Spanish version of the system overview. A lot of changes in these new documents. That's why it's been like 8 months since we've had a release. I don't know, 6 months maybe since the release of the website. The website's updated quite a bit, a lot of new pages. Similar look, but different navigation, much clearer to navigate, a lot of new content. The standards, in the future after this new release of the standards, we'll release updates of the standards more frequently because we'll be able to do that. We wanted to get the standards up to a state where we feel they really are professional, and from there begin releasing sequential versions therefrom in an easier manner. So Elizabeth and I are traveling right now. We've been working so much that we decided to take a bit of a break, and we're in Marau, or on the eastern coast of Brazil, the Peninsula de Marau. And they have a beach here. Only been here for a couple days, but I'm going to show you around the apartment and show you what we like, what we dislike about this condo, this kind of apartment. Actually, there's a lot that we like, only a little bit that we don't like.
Hi, everybody.
So, yeah. So in this apartment,
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
we have a big open space here. So this is one big room. It's nice having a big room like this typically. And they've done it quite well. You don't see the television just yet. No television. For us, that's really nice. Instead, the television is up there. So if I show you from the bed, if you're lying on the bed, you know, it's hung up there. This is great because it's out of the way. Elizabeth and I don't watch a lot of television. We've never turned it on. The one downside, if you do want to watch movies, like sometimes we connect our computers to the television in order to watch a movie. The one downside about having this television here is the HDMI. So we didn't bring an HDMI cable, and there's no HDMI cable attached to this. There's no Chromecast. Of course, you could do Chromecast. So it would be a bit difficult if we wanted to connect our computer to the television. But really great location up there. So it's about in the center of the room, and you can see they've just drilled a hole up there and they've attached it. The air conditioning unit is intelligently placed on the wall here, which goes to the outside, and so it's not blowing on anyone. It's just blowing straight into the room. Cools the room down nicely positioned air conditioning unit. So the bed right here is nice. You can see it's a wooden backboard. This is always nice. It's not great having cloth backboards because they get really dusty. Having a wooden backboard is fantastic, much easier to clean. You always want to be careful of dust in places, you know, your own place or a place that you're renting out. Beside the bed, you know, great place to put your stuff. And they put the AC units here. See, they're sufficiently far away from the bed, and the bed is sufficiently far out from the wall that you're not going to have a lot of EMF, electromagnetic current, running by the bed. So we both slept really well here on the bed. And here you can see they have 2 units instead of the typical 1. It's great having 2, very easy to use. And over there on that side, there are also 2. So nicely positioned. You can see the light switches on either side of the bed, farther away from the bed than where the people are sleeping, so there's no electric field or magnetic field running right in the bed area. The one downside about this bed, about a lot of beds, is the sharp corners, of course. You got to be careful of these sharp corners. I have knocked my shins on this a couple times, so that's kind of annoying. What we don't like about this, it's nice in some ways, but not great in some ways. The windows here have a tinted film on them. So you can see how dark it gets. You can actually see how dark it is in here. I have all the lights on, we have the front door open, and it's actually quite dark in this room. So they put film on here. It's nice during the day because people can't see in, but it's also not great during the day because it really cuts down on the light. It's much darker in here. In fact, we have to turn on the lights during the day in order to have enough light in here. Not great. I understand having film on the window is nice and it's reflective, you know. It cuts down a little bit on the heat, it cuts down on vision, although there's no vision because there's no one next door. Nice patio area here. So nice table, patio, and they have a hammock. This entire structure here, this structure separate from the wall, here in Brazil, they use gravity fed water in order to provide gravity for the houses. So this entire concrete structure here, all that material is just to hold up that water box. There are some lights out here. Great. Here's the propane tank for the stove, and then here is the trash area. This trash area collects a lot of flies. Second thing we don't like about this, that's something you kind of have to deal with in these sorts of situations, is flies. Have a lot of flies in the house, and nothing to kill the flies. There are flies everywhere, so when we're preparing food or when we're in the kitchen, we have flies all over us. Not great. A nice table and chair set up here. 2 chairs on this side and a bench on this side. Really nicely done, very well thought out. Not so big, and yet also not so small.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we do like this place. The lighting is very nice. Right here you can see the light. No red lights or orange lights at night, but that's not a big problem because we have our own lights, and then a circular light above the bed. Not a lot of things on the wall. We like that. Not a lot of dust collectors, not a lot of like things in our vision that we either don't want to see or that are kind of an annoyance or a visual obstruction. These can collect a little bit of dust, but it's it's kind of eloquently done. No problem there. We really like that. Here at the sink, it's a black countertop. I think it would have preferred a little bit of a lighter color countertop. The stove is a good quality stove. Under here, I don't really like this sort of grayish green color, but there's a storage space here. The microwave puts off a blue light, a very bright blue light, so at night I had to unplug the microwave. And there's no hot water at the sink, which is kind of disgusting. It really is kind of disgusting that here in Brazil they don't have hot water at the sink, because we wash our dishes and, we eat a lot of meat. And so the meat has fat on it, and then it's really difficult to get the fat off, and sometimes you don't get the fat off, so you have a little bit of like fat and like soap on your dishes. It's not very hygienic. A lot of people now use hydrogenated or vegetable oils. That stuff's terrible for you. It'll give you skin, causes problems. It's the way that you should watch videos of the way they manufacture that stuff. Not great for us. So I wish they had hot water at the sink. No hot water. We end up getting water all over the sink area, so that's again why they have the squeegee. Could have made the sink maybe a bit bigger, a bit deeper, would have been nicer, so we're not getting water all over the sink, sometimes a little bit on us. It's good they have a lip here, because otherwise more water would come on us. They have a nice place here for drying dishes. Not large, it's just the 2 of us. If we had more people, this wouldn't be enough for the dishes. It's nice that they thought about putting a window here. They've done and out here they have a little bit of a garden. So this is nice. And you can open the windows, which kind of tons of flies around here, which gets rid of the flies a little bit, but we have flies all over this area. It's nice also that they put two AC outlets right here. It would have been nice to have a few AC outlets over here, but no AC outlets there, no other AC outlets, so only 2 here. That's not, they could have put 2 over there. They do have 2 under the sink, and one goes to the microwave and one goes to the oven. Now here you can see, quite common, they don't have P-pipes, and this isn't even made into a P-pipe right here. So thankfully we haven't had any gas smell coming up, any sewer gas smell, but you can see this one is not made into a P-pipe. But is okay. Enough storage here. It's kind of nice that they've closed this and they have storage there. It would have been nice to have one open one. Maybe this they could have left open instead of having this closed. It's sometimes nice to have open things that you can quickly, easily access under the sink and put away instead of having to open the drawer. So they have a refrigerator here, no problem. So you can see the layout's quite nice. And this goes out to a central area, beautiful central area with a pool. So that's really well done. Now here, if you're facing that way, this is the room. That's the room, and then this goes out to the front where that pool is that I just showed you. Nice storage area here. Again, very well thought out. Look, open storage area so you can see what's available and you're not opening doors into people while they're walking right here. So very well thought out. Instead, the doors are up here and this is locked for themselves. And then they put blankets here for us and towels here for us. They do have a fan, but we haven't had to use the fan. Maybe if we were here longer, we would have put the fan on and put it over here in the sink because it keeps the flies kind of at bay. So nice for them to put a few coat hangers. The circuit breaker is easy to access right here. It's always good having an easily accessible circuit breaker. You can see the roof's kind of high. It's actually tilted at an angle. And here we have the bathroom, and again, no hot water at the sink here. Not too big of a problem not having hot water here. It is always nice. Only one AC outlet here. It would have been nice to have two. Here they do have the pipe in somewhat of a P-pipe form. So we've had no problems again anyway with sewer gases coming up. It's nice to have an open shelf here. This is well done. Here, I was concerned, you can lose rings down these sorts of sinks. But this is a nice sink. We appreciate the way this sink is done. Yeah, not a problem with the sink. You do sometimes get food, like sometimes when we're flossing our teeth, we get food, and then the food gets stuck here. So this is a bit thin, it's a bit wide there. They didn't install this actually correctly, because it's thick on this side, thick there, and then very thin here, and the water goes down here, and then you get the food stuck down there. So you really need to install that correctly. Nice mirror here. What else? The toilet. So they don't provide a plunger here, and they didn't provide a cleaner for the toilet. You can use these to clean the toilet after doing a number 2. But in a place like this where there's not a lot of water pressure, you kind of need a plunger. And, and also a cleaning brush. I mean, you can use the water sprayer right there. You see the water sprayer. This is frequent. You always see these here in Brazil and Europe and in the Middle East. In many places you see these. But it would have been nice to have a plunger. And so here for the towel rack, you see they have a nice double towel rack. Very well done. And then another rack for just hanging a hand towel. It would have been nice maybe to have another double one over here so we could have hung our bathing suits. Again, if they're dripping, that wouldn't be so great because then they'd be dripping onto this. But, maybe something to hang something here. So again, this is a beautiful shower. Unfortunately, maybe, I don't know what else they could have done here, but we end up getting a lot of water out here. Not a big deal. It dries easily. And in fact, they gave us a squeegee. Look at the squeegee. This is not seen before. Give us a squeegee, but this is a squeegee, so we can squeegee all the water to the drain, which is positioned right there. On the other side of the shower, we have a place to put soap and everything. Very well done. Inset and outset. Looks very elegant. They've done this very well. Here we have an electrical shower, and this is actually a very high quality electrical shower. The great thing about electrical showers is that they don't use a lot of electricity, and so they're really economical and efficient. The only thing is that you have less water pressure. So I have a lot of skin that comes off my body when I'm taking a shower, and there's not a lot of water pressure when I'm scraping my body and scraping the skin to get the skin off. And so the more you turn the tap to get more water pressure, the colder it becomes, because you have to have the water flowing through here at a fairly slow rate in order to keep it warm. If it flows through here, obviously it's flowing through faster and it's not able to heat as much. So you have to keep this kind of low, and that's how you adjust it. If you turn it to a higher pressure, then it'll become cooler and eventually become cold because it's running through this system too fast. You can adjust the temperature here, and here's a register for this. I didn't see a register I often don't see registers in these places for the toilets, I'm sure there's a register somewhere, but I don't know. It's nice having a little garden out here when we take showers. We can open this, And you can actually open it either way, so you can actually take a shower, and this is just so beautiful and have like fresh air coming in. We think that's where the drain water goes, so the water goes down there and then into a drain right outside. It's really nice taking a shower and having like this amazing breeze come through. And in fact, they've done this very well because you can here, you can open both sides. Instead of having one side fixed and one side open, you can actually open both sides. And you can have both sides open like this. So you have an air gap here and an air gap here. We really like that. I don't know, that's something that's kind of rare. Usually people have one side fixed and one side open. And this side has both sides fixed. They have a light out here, and the light has a solar panel. Really great having a solar panel so it doesn't use additional electricity. Yeah, we quite like this place. Yeah, and one last thing. You can see how dark it is in here, actually. Elizabeth has that door open, so it's letting in some light. But their curtains are nice, too. No need for blackout curtains because nobody's living over there, so there's not much light at night. But they have 4 sets of curtains here. So you can see one set over there, another set here, another set there, and another set there. So you can customize this area in terms of curtains. It's really well, and they really did think a lot about how to position the equipment in this house. So 4 sets of curtains, nice, easy to close them all, or you can leave some closed and some open. Very well done. Beautiful place. Hi, love. So we haven't stayed here for long, but we've enjoyed it. Just a quick brief tour of the place we've been in and kind of what's been happening with Auravana. We have a lot coming up, a lot to release in the near future. And yeah, check out Elizabeth's video. We really hope that the Indigenous University progresses well, and if you can help us with it, that'd be great. So the next part of that is looking at the budget and beginning to do the architectural engineering for that. We're also continuing the architectural engineering for the Auricurve habitat, the rural restorative Auricurve habitat. So we're continuing on that. We have a lot to do. Elizabeth and I are somewhat introverts sometimes, so you know, in the future I think we'll share more updates more regularly. But at the moment we've just kind of been pressing forward with our work. So.
Yeah, and also I would like to compliment in terms of our social media. We are doing like regular posts to put more information out there, more accessible.
On Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, check out our Instagram account. We have so many models, you know. At the next release of the website, we'll have over 2,060 models describing the concept and operation of a community-type society, a resource-based economy. And so, you know, we have a lot of content, and we're sharing that content on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, check out our Instagram account. And you know,
Auravana Project. Our tag. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Ciao.
Bye.